Good morning. Good Saturday morning. What's happening? August 1st, new month. What is going on? How we doing today, guys? Whew. Been a long week. Good morning, Kevin Hawthorne on YouTube. We're live on Instagram. Wait, now we're live on Instagram. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn today. Don't always do that every day, but is there anybody on LinkedIn? I don't know. I keep trying. Yeah, what's happening? Over at the house early this morning, gonna get cracking. I think today I'm gonna end up with a paintbrush in my hand. So Wendy will be happy. She's got some help coming. So finished up the trim in the basement and put the saw away, a chop saw and the table saw and all the stuff. And I'm into my second case of caulking. My fingers are trashed. I got to use the left hand now. Good morning, Dustin Hippensteel. What's happening? Luke McGee, what are you doing? Lee Frisbee is here. How are you, buddy? Good morning, Dad. And again, Kevin over on YouTube. We get some people up on Instagram here pretty quick. And if you're watching on LinkedIn, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Trying to do this on 4 or 5 different platforms every day, which is a bit of work to set up, but no big deal, really. We got it happening. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. Coffee's good. That works today. How you guys doing today? Pop in the chat. Where you're at? Where you from? How are you? What are you doing? Who are you? Uh-oh. Bubba Hogan got through the gate. Good morning, beautiful. What's happening, buddy? Yeah, we're it's starting to feel like a house around here. We got the RAM board up, the floor protection is up and off to the dump. A couple of good dump runs yesterday. Nothing like a good Friday dump run, you know. So you can get out and see the dump ranger, take a couple of shots at him. He's good for it. He likes to chat. Yeah, Dave was up last night. Danielle came up, so we had a great meal. I wish they'd come up every week. They cook for us, everything. Steak tips and corn on the cob. Little Caesar salad, the whole bit. Yeah. Bubba says from parts unknown in Virginia today, heading back to Memphis, probably. Yeah. Good morning, Rick. What's happening? Good to see you. Yeah, it's been a good run of having a bunch of guests on lately. We kind of turned the corner and looking at thinking about one of the things that everybody mentioned, which was doing the work. Okay. Today, specifically doing the work when nobody's watching. All right. Getting real about it. Your real standard isn't what you do when people are watching, right? It's what you're willing to do when there's no audience. Okay. No accountability, no applause, no big, I'm going to get a big pat on the back, right? And like, nobody would know if you skipped it, right? Good morning, Andrea Gooch. I hope that knee is healing up good. And you're running around on it already. Probably not, but hey, maybe at some point. So, yeah, nobody would know if you skipped that stuff, right? So, questions like, who are you when nobody's watching? All right. You've heard it said, character's what you do when nobody's watching, that kind of thing, right? Not when the coach is checking on you, okay? Not when your employees are watching, not when, your spouse is around, or not when you're posting it on social media. Good morning, Paul Tarasuk. Not when someone's keeping score, okay? Who are you when you could cut the corner and nobody would ever know? Okay, because I think that person has a hell of a lot more to do with your success than the person everybody else sees. Am I wrong? I don't think so. Ron Lottie, my man, good to see you. How you doing, brother? How did the workout go? I got to get you on here. Ron's a badass. I got to get you on here sometime, buddy. Good to see you. And I was just saying, hey, nobody ever watches on LinkedIn. Thanks for coming, man. Brighten my day. Yeah, yesterday I told you guys we're going to spend the next 10 days talking about doing the work. This is where it starts. So if you showed up, it's on you, right? Do the work when no one's watching. Nobody's watching. I think that's a grammatically correct way to say that. And for those of you that haven't been here, good morning. I'm Bob Turner. I'm Bailey's dad. I'm Wendy's husband. I'm a business coach, a speaker, an author, and the guy behind Summit Coaching and Consulting. And every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, the only time zone, right? I show up for Live 365. Today is day 583 in a row, without hesitation, without interruption. I show up because I believe growth doesn't happen by accident. We talk about business. We talk about leadership. We talk accountability, personal and business development, ultimately finding your edge. Okay, so yesterday we kicked off a new conversation. I kind of just did a touch-off call. We're calling it 10 days of doing the work. Good morning. Says, Wendy, I'm here with the kids, but we'll be outside until you're done. I don't want to cause a ruckus. So she just pulled in. The dogs will be going crazy, right? 10 days of doing the work, not talking about it, not planning it, not posting about it, doing it. So day one starts where I think everything starts, and that's what is your standard when no one's keeping score. Good morning, Bill Hillstrom. Yeah, good to see you guys. Who are you when no one's keeping score? What's your standard when no one's keeping score? Because we perform differently when we're being watched, right? I remember this. I'd be out running down the road, right? Just laboring along at like an 8:30 pace. And all of a sudden somebody's coming. I'm running 6:45s, baby. Chest is out. I'm just hitting it. Just get over the knoll and whoo, pace comes down to 10 minutes. I'm telling you, right? Tell me I'm wrong, right? It's a human tendency, right? Just a natural human tendency to raise our game when someone's watching. Doing an Ironman, coming through town. I'm going like a, bat out of hell, right? Get around a corner, can't see the family anymore. And the pace comes off. I'm like, oh, I got to recover from that, right? Think about it, the job site, okay? The owner pulls in. Everybody suddenly looks busy. Coach walks into the gym. Effort goes up. Boss walks through the office. Screens change. It's human nature. Camera comes on. Posture changes, right? It's human nature. But here's the problem with that. Your life is mostly built during the hours when nobody's watching. Okay? Nobody sees the follow-up call you didn't make, Nobody sees the follow-up call you make. Nobody sees the estimate that, you just finished because it needed to be done. Nobody sees the extra 10 minutes you spent preparing. Nobody sees the hour I spend preparing for this. But it shows. Nobody sees the workout you don't skip or the food you don't eat. The promise you keep to yourself. The conversation you prepare for, the book you read, the money you don't spend. I'm not going to do that. Okay? Nobody sees the extra attention you give someone that you love. Okay? Most of the things that eventually become visible success started as invisible work. Okay, and private standards create public results. My friend Mike Foley, who owns Foley's Fitness in Southern Maine, always said, what you do in private shows in public. What you do in private shows in public. Said differently, public results are lagging indicators of private standards. It just shows, guys. Okay? The business everybody sees today, it's built by decisions no one saw 6 months ago. The relationship people admire is built through conversations nobody heard. Okay? And the confidence somebody carries is built through hundreds of promises they kept to themselves when nobody would have known if they broke them. Okay? We love looking at somebody's visible results. Man, you look great. What have you been doing? Right? We don't see their invisible repetition. Ron's on here. Ron works out constantly. Right? Not to put it on the gram, but to keep himself healthy, mentally, emotionally, physically. Keep his health going. You don't see it every day, but he's doing it. Okay? We can flip that around. Like, people eventually see the consequences of the work you didn't do. Nobody sees you skip the follow-ups until sales slow down. Nobody sees you avoid the employee conversation until the culture goes in the shitter, so to speak. Nobody sees you stop watching the numbers until you're out of cash. Okay? The work may be invisible. The consequences usually aren't. Okay, they show. Let's talk integrity for just a minute. It's not just about other people, integrity. Okay. I usually think integrity means I do what I told you I would do. But what about I do what I told myself I would do? You said you'd get up, you hit snooze. You said you'd make 5 phone calls, you made 2. You said you'd stop drinking during the week, you made an exception. You said you'd exercise tomorrow. You said you'd finish the proposal, you watch Netflix instead. And nobody catches you, nobody writes you up in life. Nobody finds you or, fires you from life. Nobody even knows except you. And every time that happens, you're teaching yourself something. My word to myself is negotiable. My word to myself is negotiable. That's dangerous, guys, because the opposite is also true. Every time you keep that promise, you're creating evidence. I can trust myself. Good morning, Elizabeth from Natchez. How are you? Yeah, and that kind of stuff is where confidence actually comes from. Okay, people ask me about confidence all the time. No, they don't. But if they did ask me, how do I become more confident? Good morning, Mark Bunker. I would say you don't think your way into confidence. You build evidence. You do the thing. You do what you said you'd do again and again and again, especially when nobody's checking. Confidence is proof that you're progressing. Some of the most powerful proof that only you know exists. Okay? Proof that you're progressing. I don't need somebody standing over my shoulder. I don't need somebody cheering. I don't need somebody threatening me. This is who I am. That's a standard. This is what I'm going to do. The decision has already been made. Think about craftsmanship. A lot of you guys are in the trades. Think about craftsmanship for a second. And I've spent 30 years or more around the trades, whether it was in a millwork shop or as a contractor or building countertops and cabinets and, remodeling houses, heck, still doing it. And I've seen some things here that somebody should be ashamed of that they did. Okay. But one of the greatest tests of a craftsman is the stuff that's eventually going to get covered up. Right, Mark? Like the framing and the blocking and the flashing. How many decks have I replaced where it didn't get flashed? That's not the sexy part, the flashing, right? The waterproofing, the wiring, the buried junction box, the no vent in the island, whatever. It'll still probably work, nobody buying this house will ever see it again, so I do it right. Because it's there. That's craftsmanship. Character is doing the parts of your life right that eventually get covered up. Simple as that. Nobody sees them. Nobody sees that. Throw on the weighted vest and go up for the ruck in dark, the 0 dark 30. I talked to Matt Blood yesterday. I think of the days that he was doing 75 hard. And one time he did like an overnight walk too. It was cool. Character is doing the parts of your life right that eventually get covered up. Okay? Nobody sees them, but everything else gets built on top of them. I drove down the road here a while back. We're up in northern Maine, and I just watched them dig. I'm like, oh, they must be just, pouring a slab because they just went down about a foot. And so they saw and that came and it looked like they poured footers. And I'm like, that's interesting. Said to Wendy, now I'm that guy. Every time we go by, I'm like, that ain't built right. So they came up from the footers with like a 4-foot ball. 3 feet of it's above grade. We're in northern Maine. Then they built a 30 by 40 beautiful barn on top of it. I'm not going to tell you who did it. But I'm going to tell you that in a few years, after the frost has its fun with it here in Maine, that's not going to be right. But guess what? They got paid. They moved down the road. Concrete looks like it goes in the ground. It doesn't. It's on a bed of crushed stone about 18 inches down. It's going to come apart. It's just going to take a little time, okay? So that's that foundation, right? Everything else gets built on top of it. Spend so much good money on top of this crap foundation. So don't have a crap foundation. Think about social media. Social media has messed with all this stuff, okay? We've gotten really good at documenting the work, right? Hey, guilty as charged. Yeah, that's that barn down the road, Matt. I think I was telling you. We drove by it. Yeah, and I asked somebody about it yesterday. He's like, "Yeah, they kind of do that kind of stuff." I'm like, okay. We're good at documenting the work. Hey, look at this gym selfie, early morning post. I've done it, laptop at 5 a.m. I do it. Inspirational quote, 75 hard update, day 59, a business win. Hey, sold a big job. None of that's bad. None of that's bad. Matt Blood, you're late to the party. I just mentioned you. But be careful that documenting the work doesn't become more important than doing the work. Okay. I have a hard time getting Wendy to shoot content around here. I know you guys like to see the photos of the remodel, but she's so focused on getting the job done. Ask yourself this: would you do this work if you couldn't tell anybody about it? Would you still work out? Would you still read? Would you still help somebody? Would you still get up early? Would you still keep the commitment and chase the goal? That's an interesting test. Would I still do this if I couldn't tell anybody about it? I don't know. You the kind of person that picks up the piece of trash in the parking lot? Or are you the one that waits till somebody's looking and does it? And guys, nobody's coming, okay? I make my living helping people with accountability. I believe deeply in it, but I don't believe that accountability is just thrusting upon someone else. Hey, give me a call at 10 minutes of 5 tomorrow to make sure I get up. That's not accountability. That's a babysitter. Here's something important about that. Okay, the ultimate goal of accountability isn't to have someone, have somebody chase you around for the rest of your life. Hey, make sure I do this. You're just putting it on someone else. A great coach can ask. A spouse can encourage. Hey, being in a mastermind can challenge you. Okay, your team can hold you accountable. Hey, Mark, you said you were going to do this, but eventually you have to become somebody you can count on, and that's sovereignty. I don't do it because Bob asked me, or I got a call with Bob in a week. I don't do it because my boss told me. I don't do it because my spouse is checking. I do it because I decided this is my standard. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, so you're going to get some homework for you, Mark, right? I want to talk about the private standard. I've been wearing my Ben Newman shirt that says the standard. I got some paint on it. It's all messed up now. I got to get a new one, right? Actually, all of our clothes have paint on them. So, Jess, thank you. I appreciate that. Wendy needs to hear this today, says Bubba. Haven't seen any links. I'm going to take 5 minutes after you get them all in. She's linked to the dogs right now. They're outside. Yeah, guys, I want you to, I always say this, identify one thing. I was talking to Matt Blood yesterday. We talked about don't boil the ocean, right? What's one thing in your life right now that nobody would know if you skipped? They wouldn't know. Maybe it's the workout or the follow-up calls, the reading or your journaling or prospecting, preparation, budget, doing your budget, the diet, your nutrition, what you put in your pie hole, right? That phone call you were going to make, being present with your family. Nobody would know if you skipped that stuff, okay? But then ask yourself, who do I want to be when nobody is watching? You'll sleep better at night, guys. And go out and prove it today. So what's one thing in my life right now that nobody would know if I skipped? And then who do I want to be when nobody's watching? And then today, go out and prove that. No picture required, no Facebook post. We're not running it up the flagpole. No announcement, no applause. Just do it. Ron, journaling and meditating. Yeah, doing the work instead of making a list. That's right, Elizabeth. Just do it. Like Nike says, right? Just do it. I'll probably get a letter from them. Stop using our brand. I don't think so. Yeah, guys, everybody wants the visible result. Very few people fall in love with the invisible work. Okay? But the invisible work is where the visible results come from. I'm sorry. I can't change that for you. Can't change it for me. I've got work to do. Things going to change around here. Okay? We're in a season of remodeling this house. It's exhausting. Okay? Guys, was this helpful today? Pop a fist pump in the chat if you liked it, if it meant something to you, or if you're going to pass it along, okay? Tomorrow, we're going to make this harder, okay? That's Bubba looking for his links, right? We're going to make this harder tomorrow because we're going to talk about doing the work, today we're talking about doing the work when nobody's watching, right? Tomorrow, we're going to talk about doing the work when we don't feel like it. Well, I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. Good morning, Richard Nordheim. Good to see you, my friend. Doing the work when you don't feel like it, because if your standard only exists when your feelings cooperate, it's not much of a standard, okay? What did we say yesterday? Your feelings get a vote, but they don't get a veto, okay? Thanks, Wendy. Thanks, Mark. Guys, nobody may see what you do today. Good, right? Do it anyway. Nobody may congratulate you or pat you on the back. Do it anyway. Just do it anyway. And nobody may know that you had the opportunity to cut the corner and didn't. You'll know, right? Some of my best copes on inside corners of base in this house are in the back of a closet. Nobody's going to see them. But damn, they're good, right? They're good. I want to know that they're right, that they did it right. Good morning, Mallory. Glad you're here. Yeah, every time you do that stuff, you cast another vote for the person you're trying to become. That's how you build confidence. That's how you build character. That's how you build trust in yourself. And eventually, all of that invisible work becomes impossible to hide because it starts showing up everywhere in your life. Private standards create public results. What you do in private shows in public. Get a little fired up sometimes. I love you guys. I love that you come here and hang out with me a little bit every morning. Okay, I hope that you'll share it out with someone that needs to hear it. Reach out to somebody that needs to hear from you today. Take care of your people. There's people on here that have lost people and friends and coworkers recently. Take care of your business, okay? And especially, like today, especially take care of the work no one else is checking on. Even if nobody knows you did it. Elizabeth says, when I finally realized nobody is coming, that's when the real work truly started. Yeah. Elizabeth, I thank you for being here, being a big supporter of the Live 365. Take care of business, guys, and go find your edge. Tomorrow's day 2 of 10 days of doing the work. We'll be back here for day 584. When I'm done and when Wendy comes in, we're going to pop in the link to Bubba's Retreat to Attack, November 9th through the 12th. Somewhere in Tennessee, allegedly near Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge or somewhere in between, right? Flying into Knoxville. We'll get you more information on that. We'll get some exciting other stuff coming on the Edge live side as well. So we'll put the link in to join our community. I've had some great people joining up lately. Bubba's had some great people join his Pond Dude peer group. So we'll put that link in too. You might go, what? You would share Bubba's group? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would, because the more I help Bubba, the more he helps me. And the more I help everybody, the further, the more the needle moves for me. Jess is coming to the retreat. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you being here. Say hi to Michelle. I hope you guys have a fantastic day today. Wendy, today I grab a paintbrush. She said, are you helping today? I said, I have to caulk a little bit more in the basement, and then we're done. I can't do any more anyway. My fingers are bleeding. I had to triage myself last night. Oh, here she comes with the links, Bubba. We got to stick around for a couple more minutes. Yeah, we're gonna bring everything up to first coated, and then we're gonna be on our final coat of trim paint around this place and touching up the walls. Then we're gonna get the sprayer out. I'm gonna spray this ceiling, not this one, but this one. See how they don't match? So we're gonna spray this one in the kitchen white. The one in, I call it the lobby. The one out in the lobby. But it's really a breezeway. So, and then the other one is the pantry / laundry. So I'm going to spray those ceilings. Then we've got 20, I think the count is up to 23 doors that are lined up out in the garage area. And I'm going to commence the fire and the sprayer on those things once we prep them out. And if you've done any painting, you know it's all in the prep. So, Wendy, I'm coming. I'm going to help you paint. and I appreciate everything you've done over the past, I don't know, 90 something days we've been going at this remodel. And I posted something in our Edge Live group today. I'll share it with you. It was the spirit of it was make sure run the final lap, run through the tape, run through the finish line. That's where we're at right now. We could actually move in here right now, but that trim's not final coated. That thing over there needs to be spackled. There's some other stuff that needs to get handled that I don't want to handle when we live here. No, Mark, they're all like number 2 WP4 T&G 1x6, and so they got some knots. So I'm hoping that with some kills, I'll give you a better shot of it. With some kills and a couple of coats of a decent trim paint by Sherwin-Williams. Yeah. How many people do you know that just can't say Sherwin-Williams? Yeah, I'm going down there to Sherwin-Williams. I go, where are you going? Sherman-Wilson's. Doorways. Yeah. So Wendy has learned the difference between a door jamb, door trim, and doors. She's like, I'm painting doors today. I'm like, painting doors? Yeah, these openings here, those aren't the doors. Those are the openings. They got a jam. They got some trim. Hey, you signed up for this stuff, babe. I just want you to have the right vernacular, okay? So no, it's not cedar, it's pine. And this stuff here is the pre-finished stuff. We were fortunate to get it through Richardson's Hardware in Patton, through Nate and his team. They've been great too, by the way. But they got it from Robbins Lumber, who had a major fire and some casualties and with an explosion. So we did well to get any wood from them. I didn't think we were going to get any, but anyway, yeah. Sherwin-Williams. Get out here in Sherwin-Williams. One of the things I was surprised about in remodeling too for, I don't know, 20 years is people were either Benjamin Moore, or Sherwin-Williams. They had to have it. Like, I'm like, okay, in our quote it'd say, 2 coats of, 1 coat of prime, 2 coats of finish, Well, what kind of paint are you going to use? I would have to specify with some people. They want it right. They want the good paint. So we did try a Valspar. We weren't really impressed with, but we're thinking it might have got a bad batch or something. Leave it to you to correct Wendy Turner. Mark, I can't have her out in the world referring to door jams as doors. I mean, come on, man. Hey, I'm no day at the beach at times. I recognize that. This is what she signed up for. So anyway, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. If Wendy didn't pop the link in for Bubba's thing, we'll get it. Oh, there it is. Yep, we got the link to it. Retreat to Attack right there, guys. It's on the screen right now. Join us in Tennessee, November 9th through the 12th. We would love to have you. And hey, listen, it's Saturday. I got some paint to do. I gotta finish up down in the basement, put some Band-Aids on these fingers, and we're gonna sling some paint. Love you guys. Catch you tomorrow. Take care. See you at 8. Later.